We are live. So, I wish I knew. I think one is personal. So let's try this. That's all. That's fine. All right. Let's see. All right. Hello, everybody. Who's on? Can you hear me okay? We're going to get started hopefully right at 10 o'clock. All right. Let's go ahead and pull up that other video.
Aston Bulbous. Give me a little brief on that.
Well, they've been using for about a year and a half, something like that. And the guy came up to me, and of course, they go immediately into their CRM system, so they drop people there. It was great.
What do you think about that?
Let me kill this.
Things out there. What's it support agents and what's it don't? Now, Matt Inman, Gary Keller, interview a year is not that surprising.
No.
So how was Inman? It was good?
It was really cool, man. It was big, huge, a lot of people there. It was great. They did a great job, and I definitely want to go to another Inman again.
I got to tell you, so I just sat down and watched that Brad Inman, Gary Keller interview.
Right.
And Gary Keller was talking about the future of real estate as he saw it. He was talking about there's two types of companies out there. One's that support agents and one's that don't. Now, you know that we have not been a huge fan of what Gary Keller's done with Keller Mortgage. He understands that.
The mortgage side.
The mortgage side of it.
Right.
But he was talking about real estate companies like Trulia, Redfin, Zillow, Purple Bricks,
whatever. Yeah.
and his contention is that if those companies could do away with real estate agents, they wouldn't if they tell you otherwise. They're lying to you. What do you think about that?
Let me kill this phone, and then I'll tell you exactly what I think about that.
What do you think about that?
I think he's probably right. I mean,
so
yeah, these companies want to step into the real estate business, treat it as a commodity, right? Remove the agent and make the money on their own. And if they do that, they can do it at a much smaller margin because they've got the volume, right? And it's all automated.
Because these companies are marginalizing the commissions that the agents are getting, which if you saw my show yesterday, I drew the exact same conclusion that you get these companies they're infiltrating the real estate industry, and what they're doing is they're chipping off a piece of what the real estate agents make.
Right.
Now, you could say it's not necessarily commissions, but it's in higher advertising costs and things like that. So it's a very, very interesting interview. You might want to just check it out by clicking on the banner down below.
Yeah, we'll put it down below. You can see the whole thing.
Okay, so Frank, what's the most expensive zip code in the state of California?
Something in San Francisco, I would imagine, or San Jose.
So here's the question, guys. How much money would you need to make in order to live in said zip code, the most expensive zip code in your state?
Interesting.
Now, what this allows us to really do when we see it all is highlight the disparity between the states, and it's actually pretty shocking.
Yeah.
For example, you would be wrong, Frank. The most expensive zip code in the country is Sagaponack, New York. I know I'm saying that wrong. Now, in order to live in that zip code, you would need to earn $853,738.
Really?
Yes.
Fascinating.
No, you weren't too far off because the most expensive zip code in the state of California is, well, probably the most famous, and you would need $692,388. That's Beverly Hills.
Right.
By the way, they just outpaced codes in the Silicon Valley by a little bit, which I thought would have been the highest.
Right, me too.
But it's still kind of surprising. Now, the flip side of what the most expensive zip code is in the poorest of states, which state do you think that is, Frank?
Okay. So about 3 minutes till we start. Anybody that was watching that, did you have any comments about Gary Keller and his opinion about those companies? Do you agree? Disagree? All right, about 2 more minutes, and we'll get started. Hopefully people will be joining us. Okay. Let's keep letting that play in the meantime.
I don't know. Mississippi?
Mississippi. I was thinking Mississippi or, you know, Alaska or
West
Louisiana.
Virginia.
Well, it would be Madison, Mississippi. And that's 39110, and you only need to earn $84,322 to live comfortably there. Now keep in mind, but these are the most expensive zip codes and cities
in those
states.
Gotcha.
So it's kind of interesting, guys. And once again, if you'd like to check this out, and so you can see all the different states, feel free to click on the slideshow down below. It's actually pretty cool.
Okay, so this is interesting. We said how markets we visited and looked into are all seeing more inventory with price reductions, right? In the season where homes sell the most, being right now, meaning you'd expect the exact opposite.
Right.
Okay, now, Brooklyn and Queens both have the largest number of available homes for June since 2008.
What happened in 2008, Frank?
There was kind of a crash, sort of a meltdown, kind of a catastrophe.
What?
No.
Some massive global transformation in housing and real estate.
A little bit of hysteria and that type of thing right now. Now, this is according to Street Easy. Now, inventory in Manhattan hasn't been this high since 2011.
Wow.
It again begs the question, anomaly or is this a trend?
Well, now we're seeing the most expensive markets on both coasts. They also have the most regulation, which means people are trying to run out the states that are a little bit more business friendly. Sure. But I think at this point, I'm going to say that it's more of a trend. But I want to know what you guys think down below.
Well, when you add that, Fed Chair Jerome Powell said before the Senate Banking Committee, the housing industry simply isn't the economic driver that it once was and actually doesn't have much pull in monetary policy decision making.
All right, good morning. I see in classic realtor fashion, most everybody will be running a few minutes late. So we're going to give everybody probably another 5 minutes or so before we truly start jumping in. And I'm going to keep letting that play here a few more minutes in the meantime.
Wow. Meaning our tight inventory and high prices will not be taken into consideration for the rate hikes that are expected before the end of the year. This is a Barry call for sure coming up next week.
Oh, this is totally crazy. Now think about it. The housing industry isn't that big of a factor. That goes back to your 2008 thing that we were talking about just a second ago. And this is a position that Donald Trump, our president, has come out and criticized. A move criticizing the Fed that presidents in the past years have not done. I guess nothing's really changed there, and that's not surprising.
Right. So again, all indicators are that there's no relief on the horizon for the housing market as of now.
Which means you guys all just need, we've said it before, you need to double down and work harder because 2018 and 19, guys, it all looks like it's shaping up to be a tough year, so you got to be a smart marketer in what you do. Oh, by the way, hey, did you hear this, Frank? Just like the CFPB, and just like we called it,
you called it.
Well, I did call it. The Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals just ruled that the FHFA structure violates Article 2 of the Constitution, and its solution is to make it easier for the president to remove the director. However, even though they've been declared unconstitutional in how they're made up, it's also been declared that the government acted under statutory authority and did not break the law when it sweeps all of Fannie and all of Freddie's money.
Wow.
So, yes, the structure of FHFA and being a conservatorship is unconstitutional, but no, you ain't getting squat back.
So the shareholders are still screwed.
Totally.
No matter what.
Absolutely.
I mean, how's this possible? I mean, let's see. Who passes the laws of our land?
Hold on, I got this right. Who passes the laws of our land? It would be Congress.
Yes! So when Congress changed the terms of conservatorship in midstream, they could because it's Congress who makes the rule.
Yeah, they make the law, so they can just change any damn law, then it goes over to the court, they say, well, you didn't break the law. That's a pretty convenient place to be in life, don't you think so?
Man. So too bad for the shareholders. It's really a shame.
Such is life, such is life. Hey, listen, guys, if you're meeting us for the first time, okay, just subscribe up above. Send it to you every day. We don't share your list with anybody else, so you're not going to get spammed. And if you watch us with any regularity and you like the show and you like it, do me a favor, share this with a couple of realtors or lenders out there because it really, really, really helps us out.
Get it. If you don't like us, send it to someone you don't like.
Yeah, that's a good point.
That'd be great. So you guys have a great day. We'll catch you here again soon at the National Real Estate Post.
Nice to see you again.
I know, it's good to be back.
Bye. Adios.
Okay, here we go. Let's get this show on the road. All right. So thank you everybody for attending. And for those of you who let me know about not being able to attend ahead of time, thank you so much for the heads up. Just a quick reminder that these are mandatory meetings for the agents. This is how we make sure you guys stay up to date on everything that you need to know to be the best agents in the business, to rock all of your goals every year, and to hopefully not ever get in trouble with the ADRE. So thank you again for attending, and let's go ahead and dive right in. First thing is, congratulations, everybody. We are, how do I say this? Since February, those of you who have hung in there, worked with us, your patience is about, well, it's paying off as of now. We've made some huge changes in the office to streamline processes to make sure you guys have the best of everything available. So we have our new training programs. We have our ISA. So if you have leads that need assistance, please take advantage of the ISA. She is converting at almost twice the national average. She is amazing, and she's got plenty of room to take on more leads. If you did an open house last weekend and you know you're supposed to follow up with them, and if you know you're not going to be able to, send them over to Rovi. She'll take care of that for you. Okay. So actually, to go ahead and start with that, let's go ahead and do the agent intro video. And we actually have two updates with that as well. But let's go ahead and play it. And yeah, check this out. Here we go. There we go. Fantastic stuff at Breakthrough. Let's go ahead and share the screen. Sorry, I'm still getting used to all of these things. So if you're on, please let me know who's watching. All right, check out this quick video. And property management. So happy you made the. Hi, this is Josh Ezell. I'm one of the owners and designated broker of Breakthrough Real Estate and Property Management. So happy you made the choice to join the Breakthrough team. We have, I admit I'm a little partial, but I'd say we have one of the best brokerages in the Valley and soon to be hopefully nationwide. The reason it's so awesome is that we have one of the best platforms in the business, but it's supported by some of the best staff in the business. So starting off, we have Tatiana, we have Charlotte, we have Kathy, we have Bill, we have Rovi, me, you have Daryl. We have so many great people in our business and in our office. So don't hesitate to reach out to the proper people involved. While I am a great broker, I'm a great salesman, technology is not my forte. So we have one of the best technology people available for you. While I'm a great salesman, again, most typically great salesmen are not the greatest when it comes to paperwork. So be honest with yourself. If you're not a great paperwork person, don't worry about it. We've got the staff and the support for you in Kathy and Charlotte. All right. When it comes to your leads and marketing or anything like that, we have Rovi, who's here to help you every step of the way. When it comes to tech, most people do not realize how much tech is involved in real estate. Today we have websites, platforms, apps. You're dealing with all kinds of stuff. 15 years ago, you would have never thought would be in a real estate business. So we have one of the best tech people possible, right? So from sales to support to office staff to eventually me, if you need anything when it comes to sales, creating marketing plans, if you're dealing with a difficult client, if you're in a situation. Unfortunately, things happen. So if you have your back against the corner or a wall and you don't know what you should do, that's absolutely where your broker comes in. We have the contacts you need no matter who it is, from people in our business or outside of our business, such as inspectors, lenders, accountants. We have contacts for everybody. So by joining Breakthrough, you're not only going to get the education and training that you need and absolutely wanted, obviously, but you also have a support team that is huge. Welcome to our team. Good luck in your future. Congratulations.
Hi, I'm Tatiana Jones, Office Manager here at Breakthrough Real Estate and Property Management. Welcome aboard. We're so glad to have you. I'm here to help you have a smooth onboarding process. We're going to make sure all your paperwork is in, all docs is signed on a timely basis. Any training that you need, we're going to make sure that's done so that you can be the best agent of them all. I'm going to order your business cards, your name badges. Make sure you have signs for your open houses. If you need lock boxes and things like that, I'm here to help you with those type of things. Any company updates, I'll make sure you get those in a timely fashion. And last but not least, I'm the one who will be cutting out your commission checks. Enjoy. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Charlotte with Breakthrough Real Estate and Property Management. I want to welcome you on board with our team. Have a lot of amazing things to help you out. I'm responsible for paperwork, so if you need help like with listing purchases and lease ups and stuff, I can help you with that paperwork. But the other thing that's great is we have a contract coordinator, Kathy, who will help you with any documents, any questions you may have as far as that. And also, if you need help with, with the lock boxes, checking out the signs for your open houses, I can help you with that. I'm at 623-363-8493 and look forward to helping you. And again, welcome to Breakthrough.
Hi there. I'd like to take a moment and introduce myself. My name is Kathy Santicero, and I am the contract coordinator for Breakthrough Real Estate. Prior to joining Breakthrough, I was a transaction coordinator and property management assistant to an agent for the last 13 years. My role as contract coordinator at Breakthrough is to make your life easier. My role can be tailored to each agent's individual needs, whether it's a basic upload of documents, make sure everything is signed, initialed, and all documents are in prior to close of escrow, or it can be more involved where I'm actually having contact with title, lender, and your clients, requesting signatures, requesting docs. It's tailored to suit you, whatever makes your lives easier. I really look forward to talking to you and working out a plan to see what works best for you so you can have your valuable time back doing what you do best, selling and buying homes. Thank you and have a great day. I look forward to talking to you.
Hello, my name is Bill Pike, and I am here to help you with any kind of technology needs that you might have. So I'm using this video to introduce myself and give a little bit of my background. Right now I'm currently the coordinator for after-school program called Mathematics, Engineering, Science Achievement, or MESA. Before that, for 16 years, I was a teacher at Infinite High School in Tucson, where I taught mathematics, engineering, computer programming, computer science, and a little bit of physics. So basically all the nerdy stuff. So also in that role, I was a technology coach, where it was my job to help teachers use the software that they needed to use for their jobs. So email servers, web browsers, web pages, as well as how to help them integrate their new technology into their lessons. So I spent a lot of time working with technology and things like that. So I'm offering my services to you to help you build an online presence. I can help you with emails, and email accounts, social media, website development, things like that. And so I look forward to working with you. If you have any, if you want to contact me, you can reach me at 520-481-4856 by text, or you can email me at billtechhelp18@gmail.com. Thank you. Look forward to meeting with you.
Hey everyone, good morning. This is Roby with Breakthrough Real Estate, your inside sales manager. Basically, I am lead leads, and I am here to make sure that all you hungry sharks are well fed with leads and appointments. I'm here to make sure that all the leads are converted into appointments and then into deals, that everyone is followed up on. And when a lead does go dark or goes dead, I'm here to make sure that they are revived and put back into the pipeline. So plus if you need anything, I'm here to make sure that all your needs are met. Thank you.
Okay. All right. So there's our awesome. Whoa! What is going on there? Crazy. Sorry about that. Yeah, that's our wonderful staff. So if you need anything, don't hesitate to give all of them a jingle. So to make everything easy here in the business or inside Breakthrough, if you need Rovi, it's ROVI at Brepham.com or BreakthroughRealEstateAZ.com, whichever one you prefer. Bill is Bill at Brepham.com. Kathy is KATHY at Brepham.com. Of course, Tatiana, me, everybody can be reached, even all of our agents. Basically, if you know their first name, just email them. It makes life easy. So let's really cultivate that sense of community inside Breakthrough. The fact that we don't have 100 agents is actually an asset at the moment. We can call each other and help each other out because we all are people. We all want each other to succeed. And so that's one of the great benefits that we have, that let's grow. So moving on, as far as wins, losses, different things going on, we have a couple updates that I have to make sure everybody is aware of. Paperwork. It is Breakthrough's requirement that everybody submits every document to Paperless Pipeline within 5 days. Okay, we need that first week. That way, the office can sign off within the second week to meet ADRE requirements. It's very important moving forward that everybody adheres to this rule. And to go along with that, we've had ADRE had some policy updates this year, so we've updated the Breakthrough Policy Manual. So sometime this week, be on the lookout. You are going to receive an email copy of the new policy manual. It is required that every agent sign off on it within the week. Okay, so the day we actually send it out, it's required that every agent, mandatory 100% of agents, review the documents and sign and return the policy manual sign-off sheet within the week. Okay, every once in a while we have to lay the law down, and this is one of them. We have got to get those back within the week. Okay, so we have, let's see, we've got the manual update taken care of. We got Paperless Pipeline taken care of. We are scooting right through. So great news as far as the market and Breakthrough and hitting our goals. We are officially at 86 transactions closed so far this year. And that doesn't include several either not in Maricopa Regional MLS transactions. So we actually have 3 or 4 more on top of that. And I need to confirm the exact amounts from each of those agents on how many sales they've had. But it's probably another 2 million or so. So currently we're sitting at 86 transactions, $12,612,593 closed in volume. And if we add in those 3 or 4 more, it'll easily put us well into the 13 million mark. So considering our goal this year, we are not quite to the goal. We're doing great. But if we really work hard, dig down, make those extra phone calls over the next couple of weeks, bring on those extra agents, everything we can do, we can definitely make up that ground. I mean, we got off to a pretty slow start in January. It was kind of crazy. But between February, March, and April, oh my gosh, you guys came through. And then last month, we actually had one of our record months. I don't know the exact. I meant to write that down before I came in. But in the last 2 months, we've closed a lot of homes. Let's just say that, for a fair amount of volume. And you guys are rocking. It's just really, really neat to see so many great agents. I was talking to my my coach a couple weeks ago, and he was like, "So how's everybody doing?" I was like, "You know what's really neat is how real estate," and this is me actually talking to him, how real estate operates off of the 80-20 principle, where 80% of your volume is going to be given by 20% of the agents, or 80% of agents are in real estate, unfortunately, aren't necessarily going to perform in general, and 20% will be successful. It's amazing how it breaks down to so many things. But at that point in time, and we still have a fair amount today. But at that point in time, of our currently 14 agents, what was it, 9 or 10 of them had things in escrow at that point in time. So that's like 75, 80% of our agents actually have things in escrow. Right now, I think we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think there's at least 7 of us with things in escrow right now, which 7 out of 13 or 14 agents, that is 50%. That is technically double the national average, which is insane, which is absolutely amazing. If we could finish this year with 100% of our agents having at least one sale, that says a huge amount in our industry. So great job, guys. Let's keep spurring each other on. Let's keep building each other up. Let's be there to support each other. We all know it's hard making calls sometimes. It's hard getting out there in 115-degree heat, putting out 40 open house signs. So let's work together. There's so many benefits to doing open houses as a team. There's so many benefits to working together to hold each other accountable. You know, hold a hangout, do a Google or a FaceTime, and make calls together. See who can make the most calls. See who can make the most contacts. See who can do whatever it is. Make it fun and challenge yourselves. It makes our job, which is typically kind of lonely, a lot more exciting, a lot more fun, and you'll be able to hang in there through a lot more. So that's, I guess, challenge for the week. Okay, so brokerage numbers are rocking. Great job. Currently, we have 11 plus set to close in the next 30 days, and we have, I think, like 9 listings. So that's well over 20. Well, that's 20 right there that we have in the works. So congratulations, guys. Let's go ahead and jump right into the market update. So let me go ahead and share my screen again, and we're going to open up the stat newsletter. Now, each of you should be getting this newsletter every month. And if you haven't taken a look, it's got some great information. So let's go ahead and start with the rental portion. The rents, as you can kind of see, take a moment to look at it. It breaks it down since 2010 and how many rentals have closed each month. So you can see starting off January 10, about 2,000, and throughout the whole 2010, it was about 2,200 to 2,600 max, right? And then you could see 2011 got up a little higher. 2012, same thing. And then 2013, I think that was kind of like the peak of rental availability. Now, 2014 started dropping a little bit. 15 kind of hovered, but started dropping. 16 dropped. 17 dropped. And now you can see here in 2018, we are averaging 1,900 a month, which says a lot because our rents are up huge. So that's not necessarily indicative of less people renting. That's actually indicative of there's less availability and rents have actually gone up significantly. And it's harder for people to actually get in. Hey, Fred. So as right here, you can see median lease price right now, $1,485. Your average lease is $1,670. Average rental days on market, 24. And the rent check quotient is, well, 310. I forget exactly what that was. Forgive me. I should have checked that one first. But the rental market is hopping, especially for summertime you can see a lot of people always move during the summer for rentals. It's one of the exceptions to the rule because in summertime, typically sales drop. So let's go ahead and jump right over to sales. Okay, so last month, this is for June, okay? 9,079 sales in June for 2018. Now, sales are down 8%, and you can see year over year 3.3. Now, that is kind of what I mentioned just a second ago about during summertime, sales always lower here in Arizona. People just don't like to move in 115-degree temperature if they don't have to. It's one of those things. We are really a summer, spring, and late fall kind of peak time. So the fact that we're down 3.3% year over year, that truly means something. That's a nice little drop in sales. Do you have any thoughts on that, Fred? Okay. So new inventory. New inventory came up. New inventory 9,938, which is higher than the amount of sales we had. So you can see that inventory is down 4% month over month, which means there's less coming to the market, and we've actually had less sales. Yeah, if you adding them up, they're going together. So what exactly does that mean? We'll kind of see. Next, total inventory 20,357. Now this also shows something because the total inventory is still decreasing 1.5% year over year, 7.8%. So total inventory is down, and when total inventory is down, supply and demand definitely sets in. You're probably getting rising prices. Now, with that, let's talk about this next one, which come on down months of supply, 2.24. If you follow the numbers, there's several stats that coincide with, not stats, but there's several designations inside the MLS that we need to address. Active with contingencies, active accepting backups. Those are technically active and show active. So when you're having 9,000 plus sales a month and your total inventory is 20,000, including all of those other homes, you're really looking at probably barely 2 months, if not barely less than 2 months supply. Now, anybody that knows supply and demand of homes, if you're looking at less than 2 months supply of homes, what does that probably mean? It's a seller's market, and it's probably going to continue to be one for a little while. Crazy. So coming back down, active UCB, CCBS, so contract backups. So 78% are truly active. So of that 20,357, there you go, 78% of them are truly active. Crazy. Month supply, that's kind of, again, a little bit less than 2.24. List price. Interesting. Notice the discrepancy between those two numbers, okay? The median price versus the average list price, okay? If you actually take the true middle, okay, you're not taking all the homes because there's $17 million homes, there's $50,000 homes. So if you take the average of all of them, you get 355,080. But legitimately, if you take the true middle, the median of the list price of homes, it's actually $278,000. Okay, so that is the average home right now listed is $278,000 pretty much. Look at this. The average sales price, $268,000. So homes listed $278,000, selling for $268,000. $10,000 is, does anybody, can you look at that? What percent is that off? From 268,000 to 278,000. What is that, like 3%? Less than? Something like that? Well, yeah, it's 2. Yeah. So homes are selling for pretty darn close to asking price. Median sales price up 9.4% year over year. Average up 7.0. Look at that. So interesting. New list price is only up 7%, but sales prices are up 9.4%.
That's amazing for this market, though.
Yeah, historically speaking, what's the average appreciation per year for a home? Historically, isn't it closer to like between 4 and 6 on average? Yeah. So, yeah, sales price forecast. They are thinking that we're going to drop just a bit. Okay. We'll see. It always drops during June and July. That's one of those things. June, July, August, and then towards the end of August, if it starts cooling down, but usually September is when it starts picking back up. So we'll see. Distressed properties still down. The moment we see that come up, that's going to say something. But as long as it's negative, 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 or even hovering, that's fine. That's great. So 2,701 total. That's pretty darn good. That's a fairly strong economy on the surface. 1.2% of sales.
Look at that. Short sales dropped. Bank-owned homes dropped. Yeah, good stuff. Average days on market, down 15 days year over year, month to month, down by 1. So again, everything, very strong market, very strong market. Seller's market, we don't have enough homes on the market. And with interest rates down, there's been some stuff going on with those markets. So now is still a great time. If a seller needs to sell, it's a record market. And if a buyer needs to buy, all signs are showing we're going to continue for the foreseeable future. You know, can't predict how long, but for the foreseeable future, all these signs are great. So let's go ahead and pop back over and see if anybody has any comments or anything so far. Let's see here. Stop sharing. Okay, so we got one viewer right now. Okay. Let's see. Let's go on to. Oh, I guess I wasn't presenting to everybody, so I wonder if people were watching me that entire time. Oh, you gotta love being new to Hangouts and broadcasts. Okay, so that's the market update. So the agents right now, with all the changes we've made, all the updates we've had, we are on full-blown recruitment mode. We have kind of cleaned house a little bit. We have streamlined we have basically fine-tuned our process. So for new agents to come on board, they're going to come on board and have every step taken care of, guided through them. We have our 90-day training program that they're going to be able to go through on their own time, and it's going to get them rocking. We have our Thursday trainings, which starting this next week, every Thursday training. Those aren't mandatory trainings, but we are going to have them every Thursday covering one topic or another. Even if it is just a trainer here talking to a computer, it will be going on, and you can view it online, or you can be here. It'll be much better if we have several agents here, because we're going to be doing things like doing Facebook ads, creating a blog, doing videos, making phone calls, creating farms. We're going to be working on a lot of great stuff. We're going to be going over the contracts so you know it like the back of your hand. Thursday trainings are going to be applicable, great stuff. You're going to be able to leave the office and actually implement on a weekly basis. So they're going to happen. They're probably going to change in times, varying between if we're going to have an instructor or not. We're going to be bringing in outside instructors to offer as many classes as possible, especially for continuing ed credit. If any of you take a great class and you think that instructor is awesome, please send them my way. I'd love to bring them in, have them speak to the rest of the agents, and let's reinforce how awesome we are. And this will be a great recruitment opportunity. Okay, if we offer continuing classes for free and you can invite several agents, it's a win-win. And here's the benefit, guys. You're going to get the residual income for every single agent you bring into Breakthrough. It's absolutely awesome. So in honor of what we are going to be doing, and I have another announcement after this video too, as far as what we're going to be providing for new agents. So check out this new ad we have for agents, and it's already been broadcast several places. Oops, that's not the one. That's not the one we want. Sorry, guys. This is it.
How will we take care of all of our agents and how we have.
Here we go.
Hi, my name is Josh Ezell. I'm one of the owners and designated broker of Breakthrough Real Estate and Property Management. Hope you're having a fantastic day. If you haven't heard of us, we are one of the top performing brokerages here in Maricopa County over the last year. Here are some of the reasons you should check us out. Number one, training. Whether you're a new agent or if you have 30+ years experience, we have the training that's going to help take your business to the next level. Also, we love to provide continuing ed classes here at the office for free, so take advantage of those. Number two, we have the best support in the business. From our front office to our admin staff, contract coordinators, ISAs, you name it, we have the support you need. So it's not just you in the business. You have a huge, very successful, very knowledgeable team to help you. Number three, Technology. Technology is so important today. If you're not utilizing your websites, advertising, video technologies, you will quickly fall behind. Breakthrough has the technology you need to stay one step ahead of your competition. The fourth reason you're going to love Breakthrough Real Estate Property Management is our flexible commission plans. If you're a brand new agent or any agent that would love leads, contract coordinating, website, blog boxes, sites, you name it, all basically just here you go run with it. We have a plan for you. If you're a top performing agent or an independent agent that wants to just be left alone to do your own thing at the 100% level, we have plans for you as well. And if you're any agent in between, we do have the perfect plan to help you take your business to the top level. The fifth reason you're going to love Breakthrough Real Estate and Property Management is our agent referral program. We pay you top dollar for every agent you bring into our company, and we pay you for every single sale they make. How would you like to be making an extra $2,000 to $3,000 a month? $10,000 a month. There is no limit to how many agents you can refer and how much money you can make in this program. Now, the sixth benefit to Breakthrough Real Estate and Property Management is our property management program. We pay you residually for every single referral you lead to our company. So if you refer 20 properties, you get paid off 20 properties. Now, it just doesn't end there. You also get paid based on the different types of properties. So if you refer a home, you're going to get paid based on that home. If you refer a 200-unit apartment complex, you're going to get paid for a 200-unit apartment complex. Now, talk about adding up very quickly. 3 or 4 of those per year, you're going to be making thousands of dollars a month. Talk about a great incentive to help grow our company. Thank you so much for staying through this video. The seventh and final reason why you should check out and actually join Breakthrough Real Estate and Property Management ASAP is that we are a newer, smaller company, and we are exploding. We have the best training programs. We pride ourselves on being the best agents, and we are going to continue growing and expanding and spreading the word about how awesome Breakthrough Real Estate is, how well we take care of all of our clients, how well we take care of all of our agents, and how we have the best culture to work with. We want to grow statewide, and I want to bring on as many agents this year as possible, and I want to grow property management to be the largest, best quality management company in the valley. The sooner you join our team, the more agents you can refer, the more properties you can bring in, the better you will be. We're going to hopefully have franchise opportunities. We have growth galore. If you're an entrepreneurial mind and you want to help grow something big and amazing, give me a call. Thank you so much for taking the time to check out this video. If you have any questions or would like to set up an interview, I would love to talk to you. My phone number is 602-821-7460. Our office phone number is 602-938-5415. My email is josh@erepm.com. You'll see it below. And thank you so much. I look forward to talking to you.
Great. How are you? How's this getting out?
Well, I just finished it yesterday. So far it's been, we have it on.
How are you? How's this getting out?
Well, I just finished it yesterday. So far it's been, we have it on. What's going on here? Wow. I don't know how that one popped up. Okay. Hope everybody can still hear me and everything. That was crazy. I have no idea. All right. Well, we have it on YouTube. We have it on Facebook. We send it out on Instagram. But that's where I'm looking at. Please, anybody and everybody you can send it to. If you're working on a deal with a great agent on the other side, go ahead and send it to them. It's on YouTube, so everybody has access to the link to send it out to anybody. It's on the Google Drive. Let's see. It's on Facebook too. So check, a couple of our pages. Let's make sure every agent in the Valley doesn't have a choice but to see it like 1 billion times. That would be awesome. Cool. So thanks everybody who was on watching right now. Not a lot of group chat, so please somebody say hi. Let's see who's watching and see if let's get some chat going on. Next one that we have on the list today is I showed the video just a little bit ago, and it's interesting the bang for the buck that you can get around the country as far as, I'm gonna see about something here. Homes. Let's see here. Great points. I think it was. Ooh, which one was this? I think it was this one. Okay, so
if you want more purchase deals, you need more purchase leads. If you want more purchase leads, you need more purchase contacts. If you want more purchase contacts, you need more purchase prospects. If you want more purchase prospects, you need to do more prospecting.
Is this an ad? What is that?
The majority of the listing.
Oh, there's the video I wanted to watch. Okay, so recently there's been a lot of talk about rising home values, rising prices, and then on top of that, you have these companies like Open Door, Zillow's offering on homes now too. You have several of the companies which they're going to talk about, and the thoughts on those companies. For example, companies like Keller Williams, companies like Breakthrough, HomeSmart, we're about the agents. We're about growing your business. If you go on and look at the stats for, say, Open Door, you're going to see 12 agents total doing just hundreds and thousands of sales, and they're not actually feeding the agents. It's not the agents doing all that business. It's the company doing all that business. And that's not money going into each agent's pocket as commission. These are actually for-profit, legitimate companies. So there are two things that I thought were fascinating in this video. Number one, how home values have skyrocketed. Like, what are the most expensive subdivisions or areas in each state, and how much money do you need to make to live comfortably in that area? Okay, so they talk about that, but they also talk about the Inman. They just had their convention in San Francisco, and Brad was up there with Gary Keller, and I'll probably try to send out a link to that video, because if you can see that interview, it was not the most comfortable interview. It was pretty standoffish, and it was a very interesting interview. Gary Keller is probably one of the most knowledgeable, brilliant real estate minds ever, probably. So I'll send a link out to that, but check out this video because it's got some interesting takeaways. And so let's talk about it. Oh, this is the actual interview. My bad. Where did the other one go? Sorry about that. There's the interview. Okay.
Best and boldest. Always.
They're all about it. So if you're having trouble converting,
sorry about this. I actually had it queued earlier. I don't know what happened.
They got 2 accounts, a couple hundred.
Listed their house. There's an opportunity for you. Right. I got to tell you. So I just sat down and watched that Brad Inman, Gary Keller interview. Right. And Gary Keller was talking about the future of real estate as he saw it. He was talking about there's 2 types of companies out there. Ones that support agents and ones that don't. Now, you know that we have not been a huge fan of what Gary Keller's done with Keller Mortgage. He understands that.
The mortgage side.
The mortgage side of it. Right. But he was talking about real estate companies like Trulia, Redfin, Zillow, Purple Bricks, whatever. Yeah. And his contention is that those companies could do away with real estate agents. They wouldn't if they tell you otherwise. They're lying to you. What do you think about that?
Let me kill this phone now. I'll tell you exactly what I think about that.
What do you think about that?
I think he's probably right. I mean, these companies want to step into the real estate business, treat it as a commodity, right? Remove the agent and make the money on their own. And if they do that, they can do it at a much smaller margin because they've got the volume, right? And it's all automated.
Because these companies are marginalizing the commissions that the agents are getting, which if you saw my show yesterday, I drew the exact same conclusion that you get these companies they're infiltrating the real estate industry, and what they're doing is they're chipping off a piece of what the real estate agents make. Right. Now, you can say it's not necessarily commissions, but it's in higher advertising costs and things like that. So it's a very, very interesting interview. You might want to just check it out by clicking on the banner down below.
Yeah, we'll put it down below. You can see the whole thing.
Okay, so Frank, what's the most expensive zip code in the state of California?
Something in San Francisco, I would imagine, or San Jose.
So here's the question, guys. How much money would you need to make in order to live in said zip code, the most expensive zip code in your state? Now, what this allows us to really do when we see it all is highlight the disparity between the states, and it's actually pretty shocking.
Yeah.
For example, you would be wrong, Frank. The most expensive zip code in the country is Sagaponack, New York. I know I'm saying that wrong. Now, in order to live in that zip code, you would need to earn $853,738.
Really?
Yes.
Fascinating.
No, you weren't too far off, because the most expensive zip code in the state of California is, well, probably the most famous, and you would need $692,388. That's Beverly Hills.
Right.
By the way, they just outpaced codes in the Silicon Valley by a little bit, which I thought would have been the highest.
Right, me too.
But it's still kind of surprising. Now, the flip side of what the most expensive zip code is in the poorest of states, which state do you think that is, Frank?
I don't know. Mississippi?
Mississippi. I was thinking Mississippi or, Alaska or
West
Louisiana.
Virginia.
Well, it would be Madison, Mississippi, and that's 39110, and you only need to earn $84,322 to live comfortably there. Now keep in mind, but these are the most expensive zip codes and cities in those states.
Gotcha.
So it's kind of interesting, guys. And once again, if you'd like to check this out and so you can see all the different states, feel free to click on the slideshow down below. It's actually pretty cool.
Okay, so this is interesting. We said how market.
Okay. So, what are your thoughts on that? Do you think that, given the option, they will try to basically do away with realtors? What do you think?
It probably will because of the profit margin, but I think in the end they're going to lose because they're going to lose service.
I think these are fair market businesses. As long as the market's great, there's going to be an influx of these. Just like, remember the We Buy Ugly Houses people back in the previous market. How big was that company? And then they virtually disappeared in the fall, right? So what concerns me are the bigger ones like Zillow and Trulia, because they are not just a company that's out there doing these things. Like, they are actually trying to align us, and what's that statement, keep your friends close but keep your enemies closer, where it's like they're like a friend of me. Right now they appear to be our friend, but over time they're costing us more and more money. And if you look at how many leads they've sold, I don't know the exact number, but ridiculously large amount more than homes have actually sold. Like, they sell millions of leads and like half that are actually sold. And so there's a lot of agents paying for leads that are never gonna buy, right? So there's income there. And then now that they want to start coming in and offering, it's not our listing presentation. Now they're an alternative. They were never an alternative before. And do they need to be that alternative? And is it in anybody's best interest for that? Is it in people's best interest to always have, okay, I have a sure thing right here that's going to hurt you, well, cost you money, but it's a sure thing. In our world of realtors, is that actually a fiduciary duty?
Can't mislead the client, though.
You can't. You should present them their options, but is that option truly in their best interest? And for them to frame it in their work, like up front, before we even get a lead, they're already doing their stuff. Here's our offer. Here's these other agents. There you go. It's their framework. They're the ones presenting it, not us. We're not taking their offer with us to say, hey, here's your other option. They're out there and they're trying to insert themselves. And then somebody's going to get a listing. Well, who's going to get the listing? The people who are going to pay for it. So therefore, taking, again, more money out of our pockets. That would have never been taken away had they not than there to begin with.
Who would be the broker?
It's the listing agent's brokerage. So whoever they work for.
So it's not Zillow.
Yeah. No, and they've already worked deals with certain bigger brokerages. And that's the interesting part with those bigger brokerages. It's not going to be spread. You know, it's not everybody's going to get 20 listings from it, you know. So it's a really interesting factor. And then that second part pertaining to the cost of homes. Isn't that insane?
Yeah.
How in one part of the country, high end, you need $800,000 to live there. And in Mississippi,
the low end,
80,000 is high end.
Yeah.
That's high end in Mississippi. If you've never seen the National Real Estate Post, those guys are awesome. They're actually lenders, and they will keep you completely up to date on everything lending, market-wise. They really have an interest in working with agents. And so they have a great post. Every morning I wake up to a video from them Monday through Friday. And really interesting stuff. I have another one that I'm going to show you here in a minute. Again, just really cool stuff. But Arizona, what would you think is our minimal high-end amount to be able to live comfortably? I would say about $250 would be my guess. What would you think? Yeah. So definitely not towards the high end, but definitely not on the bottom side. Okay. Now, for the next few minutes, let's get into the actual kind of nitty-gritty. It's now July. We are over halfway through the year, and I wanted to talk about how are your lead generation, how are your follow-up systems working? Are you hitting your goals this year? Please comment. I'd like to know who's viewing. Please say hi, whatnot. Are you hitting your year? Are you happy with what you're doing? You know, is there some kind of breakdown somewhere in your business? You know, please comment, share, pipe in, whatever you can do, because these meetings are not supposed to be me just talking to people. Ideally, let's get into everybody's businesses and work together to solve problems and make your businesses thrive like we want. So right now, Breakthrough, we've revamped our lead system because we realized we had a huge kink in our mix. And here it is with online leads, right? I'm not sure if this is going to show up. Yeah, it's going to show up backwards. So, oh well. Online leads are tough because you go through a lot of crap. Let's just be honest. You go through a lot of crap. If you're great, you're going to get 10 sales out of 100 leads. Okay. So that means 90 of those leads are going to probably go right in the long run. National average is actually 97 of those 100 are going to go in the long run. That's a lot of calls. Knowing that your average person doesn't pick up until about the 6th call. 80% of contact is made by the 6th call. Okay, so take that 100 leads, right? Let's say you're going to call every single one 6 times. So that's 600 calls. Of those 600 calls, how many of them are knowing that 97 of those leads are going to go bye-bye? So what is that? You're going to have out of 600 calls, what's 3 times 6, 10 times 6, 60? 60 happy phone calls out of 600. That's a lot of negative ratios. So it's our duty to do those things daily, right? Monday through Friday. What are you doing? You know, what is your lead gen system and how is it working? Are your systems working for you? Are you holding yourself accountable for the things that we know we have to do, right? And at that, have you even started with the right baseline? So let's say you want to make $100,000 this year, okay? Using whatever lead gen methods you're using, open houses, your sphere, are you doing internet leads? Are you following up with like door knocking, farming? Where are you getting your business from? Are you doing enough to get the business you need? So let's talk about that. Let's list what are some of the top ways people get business today. I mean, I already threw out the internet. That is the top source, I would imagine, today of where people are getting leads, because 90% of people start looking online, right? So let's break that system down. Okay, when you get an internet lead, what has to happen? First and foremost, what has to happen?
Make a call.
Speed to lead, absolutely, right? So what is the fastest, like, how quickly should you call that lead? Obviously, immediately, right? But what's the significance of the immediately?
Oh, there's other people vying for that same lead.
Yep.
You need to get in front.
Yep. And if you catch them fast enough, they'll still be at their computer, right? So speed to lead, like a minute and a half, no more than 5 minutes. 1,000 times more likely. We talk about that all the time. 1,000 times more likely. Okay, so let's put that in the context of like the lottery, okay? And forgive me because I'm doing this off the top of my head, so I might not be lining up properly. But let's say you have a 1 in a million chance of winning $1 million. 1 in a million. That means if you buy $1 million, you have a 1 shot. You know, every time 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, right? Are your odds great that you're going to win that $1 million unless you buy 1 million tickets? It's the only way you can guarantee it, right? Okay, so let's take that back, okay? Now, if you have 1,000 times more likely chance of getting that $1 million, your odds now went from what? 1 in a million down to 1 in 1,000. 1,000 times 1,000 is 1 million. Okay. Would you buy 1,000 tickets if it meant you had a 1 in 1,000 chance of winning $1 million? Would you risk and spend that 1,000? Heck, maybe even 2, just to guarantee? Because you're almost guaranteeing you're going to get the $1 million at 1 in 1,000. Okay. Our leads are the same way, but the only difference is if we don't actually follow up, we don't win anything. We have to follow up that time to give us that percent chance, which requires us doing the hard work, right? We don't know which of those are going to play out, which means we just have to call them all and hope they're all going to play out to draw out those 3 to 10. Okay? So the value in that calling within 5 minutes, oh my gosh, 1,000 times more likely. That is the most valuable part of the whole bunch. If you're dealing with internet leads, that first 5 minutes in any lead gen whatsoever, and I hope all of you are running your own ads to bring in your own leads. Does not matter who's bringing in the lead. That lead needs to be called and contacted at least 6 times. And if you can do it within 5 minutes, a minute and a half, boom, you are rocking. Okay. So what's the next part about lead gen when you're dealing with internet leads? Let's just run with that whole $100,000 this year, okay? So let's say you want to make $100,000 this year, and the majority of everything you're going to do is off of internet leads, okay? It's great because it's so predictable. We can throw a certain amount of money each month, and we know we're going to get a certain amount of leads. Using that certain amount of leads, we know we should get this amount of sales. Based on those amount of sales, we should get this much income, right? Straightforward. So let's break this down. Let's say, and we're just gonna operate off of gross income because everybody has different splits and stuff. So let's just use generics, right? So gross commission income. All right, $100,000 gross commission. Okay, what does that mean? That means that we need to sell how much? If you want to make $100,000 this year, knowing that your average commission is 3%, right? That would be approximately $3 million, right? 3.3 million about to make $100,000. Make sense? Okay. Now, what is your average sale? Depending on your market, whatever it might be, your sale might be $1 million. Great job. Sell 3 homes. Your market might be $50,000. you're going to need to sell, what is it, 60 some odd homes, something like that? Yeah. So do it accordingly for how much you make per sale. Let's use the average here in Phoenix that we just saw. What was it, 260?
68.
Yeah. Okay. So $268,000 would mean at our average commission, that's an $8,000 paycheck. Okay. So if we want to make $100,000 at 8 sales, at $8,000 a sale, what is that? That's 12 and a half sales you need to make this year to make that amount. Okay. Now, obviously, you have taxes, you got splits, you got a lot of other factors. So if you truly want to take home $1 million or $100,000, you're going to need to sell more. But just to keep it very easy, you're 12 and a half. Okay. How do you get that 12 and a half? How many leads do you need? You know, how often should your phone be dinging with a new person signing in, giving you their information? Right? Well, to do that, take your 12. Okay, we know that. What is the goal you're going to try to do? Are you going to try to get 10% conversion? Obviously, more is more, right? If you can take the same leads and convert 10% as opposed to 3%, Rockin, you tripled it. That says a lot. So let's stay conservative and let's say we can convert at the average 3%. Okay? So for 3% of your leads to equal 12 sales. How do you reverse engineer that? Okay. You take your 12 sales and you divide that by 0.03, the average amount. That means you need 400 leads this year to get your 12 sales or whatever it is. Okay. So 400 leads. How do you bring those in? How often do you bring those in? So over the course of the 400 leads throughout the year, let's break that down between the 12 months. That means you only need to bring in 33 leads a month. That's like just over 1 lead a day. 1 lead a day can get you 12 sales a year. If you follow up properly. That's the key. You have to follow up properly, right? So to get that 33, the 1 lead a day, then what do? Right? Are you putting out ads for just sold? Are you putting out market updates? Are you driving traffic via Google? Are you doing Facebook ads? What are you doing to guarantee you're getting that minimum 1 lead a day? And then once you get that 1 lead a day, are you following up with it properly? Okay, so let's say right now, you have 400 leads in your database, and you are just going to purposely take these 400 and say, I'm going to pull out 13 sales. What do you need to do that? It's going to require some work. It's going to require some follow-up. It's going to require some emails. It's going to require some texts. Absolutely. But you can take that and rock it, right? So 400 leads. We know every single one of them needs how many calls, so that way we can try to get the contact. Most contact is made by which call? Oh, if only most contact is made on the first call. But by the 6th call, you're about an 80% chance of having made contact with them, right? First call, how often do you answer? Even if you wanted to, you 1 call, it's hard, right? If you call somebody twice, you might catch them while they're at work. You might catch them while they're at dinner. They might be at the gym. They might be in the middle of another phone conversation. 1 or 2 calls, you're leaving a lot to chance. I might have just accidentally walked away from my phone for 1 minute. Oops, I missed a call. I don't know who that is. That's a lot riding on 1 attempt. I mean, you got $8,000 riding on that 1 phone call. I think it's worth a second try. Maybe a 3rd, 4th, 5th, right? If you know it's the 6th contact, how are you working in that 6th contact? When that lead comes in, are you calling within a minute? There's 1. Are you calling them the 2nd time later on? If it was in the morning, are you calling at night just in case they were at work? Okay, you called them Monday or through Friday. What about weekends? What if they're off on the weekends? That might be the best time to reach them. So within that first week, how many times are you really trying to call them and make something happen from that lead. Okay, so let's say it's not a build-up process. You have your 400 leads. 400 leads times 6. That's 2,400 calls just to get up to that 80% chance of making the contacts. Okay. Now, realistically, let's just skip straight to the next part. To make a sale, it averages about 12 calls. Okay. So let's just take it right there. So let's multiply that times 2. So over the course of the whole year with your 400 leads, if you really want to give yourself the best chance to make that 13 sales, we're rounding up, you need to make 4,800 phone calls. Now, it sounds like a lot, but is it physically hard to pick up a phone? Or if somebody says no and cusses you out, are you going to walk away with a bloody nose? You know, are they going to break your arm or anything? Is it physically dangerous? No, it's mentally taxing. People don't like rejection. So it's all in our brain. The whole battle is in your brain. And we can beat that so easily by knowing what we need to do and seeing the benefit of it, right? Believe it or not, I do have a point that we're going to come to here, truly. So we're coming through. Your 4,800 calls, okay? So divided by the year, that is 400 calls a month. 400 calls a month divided by about, your average month is about 4 weeks, right? So that's about 100 calls. 100 calls a week, 20 calls a day to make 12 sales a year. 20 calls a day. How long does it take to make 20 calls? An hour. Hopefully you're going to make contact, right? Let's say nobody answers, an hour. Okay, somebody answers, 2 hours, but somebody answered. That's a win. You actually are working. Isn't that amazing? So 1 hour a day to guarantee you're going to give yourself $100,000 a year. Day in and day out. I don't feel good. I don't care. I'm going to make my 20 calls. I got to do an open house. I don't care. I'm going to make my 20 calls from my open house. Oh, I got to take leads out today. Oh, wait, it's only an hour. Okay, are you going to be gone 14 hours? Guarantee you're going to find an hour if it's that important to you. 20 calls a day to have a rocking internet lead business. That's all it takes. All right, let's move on to the next source. What do you love to do? When you were like hardcore trying to sell or whatever, like what would be your favorite thing? I know I'm a weirdo. I love door knocking, but I've narrowed it down to predictable stuff. So we can tackle that one later. But what's something else that's very popular? Open houses? Open houses are very popular. Right now, open houses, your average is 1 out of every 18 people that signs in. Okay. Catch is, most people don't get people to sign in. How are you showing value to get people to sign in? Next step is, how are you advertising to get people through the door? There's a lot to open houses to guarantee yourself a successful business. But the beauty is, if you do 2 or 3 open houses a week, you're going to have one of the best businesses ever. Right? So let's come back to the same model. You want to make $100,000 this year doing open houses, right? Do you know what the national average for people signing into open houses is? Take a guess.
2% visitors.
I don't even know like the percent of visitors, but it is about 4. 4 sign-ins is what an average agent averages per open house. Yeah. Okay. Honestly, I think that that's even a little lofty for a lot of agents. I think a lot of agents never ask people to sign in. I think a lot of people don't do enough advertising to generate enough traffic for people to sign in. So I'd be willing to more state 2 to 4 people on average. Okay. If you can average 5, I think you're doing great. If you do a great job advertising, doing everything, you could easily have 10 plus, no problem. If you have a brand new listing that's a great price point in a great location, I've seen hundreds of people come into an open house. But on average, using the average agent, 4 signs, 1 Facebook post, maybe send an email blast out to your database. I think that's about average.
In getting them to sign up, they have to see value in signing up, otherwise they're reluctant to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we went through some training about setting up a portal with them, finding out what they're looking for. Are they working with an agent?
Yeah.
Can we set up a portal for them? You're going to give them something. So they'll be more inclined to sign up to get that information.
Exactly. And that is stacking everything. And that's where, if this is your model, you need to have a method. When people, from the moment you say, I'm going to do an open house, what is your method? Are you going to partner with a title person to make ads? Are you going to call the neighbors? Are you going to door knock the neighbors? Are you going to do a Facebook post? Are you going to target market the area? Are you going to send a blast out to your database? Are you going to send a blast out to, well, there's a lot of ways to target, either like zip codes or neighborhoods, lots of different things. Generic advertising via YouTube, property videos, sending it out to property blast. That's what I was trying to think of, to all the other agents to let them know. There's a lot of different things you can do. What is your method to make sure you're doing every single one of them every single time? To make sure you are driving the most traffic through every single open house. You don't need to hold dinners and everything like that and do these huge events, but with the right advertising, with the right marketing, you can have a great open house almost every single time, right? So let's say you want to get your 100,000, right, this year. 1 out of every 18 goes. So what was the magic number? 12 and a half? 12 and a half, right? So what's 12 and a half times 18? Okay, so that means total you need to drive 225 people through your open house. Okay, if you can get to the 1 out of every 18. Let's just make it, let's give you a little leeway. So let's say 13 times 20. So that means throughout this year, you need to hold enough open houses to drive 260 people through your open house and actually sign in. Actually sign in, okay? So let's say you do, let's say 1 open house a week, okay? That would be 5.2 sign-ins per week. And you even get 2 weeks vacation. Okay, that's to sell 13 homes. One of our agents last year was doing incredible. They were doing 2 to 3 open houses per week, reasonably advertising, trying to find great homes to do, and they closed 12 in 1 month because they stacked it. They had 6 months of, well, at that time I think it was more like 4 or 5 months in a row of doing several open houses per week and having systems in place to follow up with them. It's very efficient. Very efficient. Okay, so if you have 3%, that's 1 out of 33 on internet leads. We just gave ourselves 1 out of 20 on open houses. Why do you think the difference is?
Well, I think that it's a harder lead.
Exactly. Why?
Why? Because they're physically out there looking.
Physically out there looking. They stopped, face to face. That's like a storefront. You know what's amazing about open houses? You can also make calls for internet leads from your open house a lot of the time. You can be doing several things at one point. You know, kill several birds with one stone easily. Open houses are incredible, you know, but it takes planning ahead of time. You got to put out the signs. You got to send out the blasts. You got to remind people. You know, if you're going to have a birthday party for somebody significant in your life, are you going to send out one email a couple weeks prior and just hope people show up? Or are you going to remind them on a regular basis? Are you going to send out blast, blast, blast? Hey, don't forget, come by this weekend. Hey, his party's this week. Invite people. You know, you're going to do that. An open house is the same thing. Whatever you invest into that open house in setting it up, properly advertising it, making it exciting, drawing people into it, whatever it might be, you will get that out of it. The catch is people put so much weight into one open house that they may or may not have done properly to put, and then they get bumped. You know, I only had 2 people. Well, did you have your system set up? Did you have your computer out to the MLS? You know, so you could set up portals. You know, when you have 2 people there, you tag team. And let's say this home isn't perfect for them. Well, if it was just you, you're stuck. Okay, well, let's see if we can find another home, and I will meet you later. Yeah, if you get 10 people through and 5 of them show up at once, what are you going to do? Exactly. But oftentimes, if you team up, you could send somebody out to look at homes with this couple while somebody else is still here. There's a lot of flexibility and availability for it. So to bring this back, open houses. How many did we need? It was 5 sign-ins a week, which if we go off the average, which we said 2 to 4 on average, that would mean you should do two open houses a week. But if you could average 5 sign-ins, that's 1 open house a week. And you just made $100,000 this year by making sure you did 1 open house properly per week. But it takes time to build up, right? Both of these. How long does it take to actually build that client? If you happen to have one walk through that's totally pre-qualified, we need a house tomorrow. Guess what? If you hold enough open houses, those do happen. They do happen fairly regularly. Of those 18 sales or whatever, 13 sales you're going to make, probably 2 are going to be that from an open house. Easy. Take them out one day, write an offer, you're good. It's amazing. But the rest of them require follow-up. Your average person takes up to 3 to 6 months. Internet leads, 6 months, not uncommon. They start perusing online. Hey, this might be a great idea. Hey, we've never bought a home before. What's this like? Hey, what area is this? Well, can we even qualify for a home? It takes a while to go through all those processes. How much money do we need to save? You know, a lot. So understandably, it takes 3 to 6 months. But if you're willing to commit and be there from when they start, they will be yours when they come through because you help them every step of the way. If you didn't follow up and you're just here for the sale, good luck. That's not a very good report. You didn't guide them through the process. You didn't, you know. We take advantage of the people who are ready today, especially if they're ready to jump, because somebody else probably missed out on that opportunity. But that's why we won't let people fall through the cracks. That's why we are the great agents. This is our world. They're trusting us to guide them through it. And we can do a great job. And we can make a killing for ourselves and our families by doing a good job there. So open houses. Make sure you follow up. You know, send that video right afterward. The moment they leave, drop them a text. You know, have your signs up saying it's mandatory you sign in per safety, per owner. Have a good reason for them to give you information, whether it's a gift card or a newsletter if they're a neighbor, comps, if they're looking for a home, go ahead and set them up with a portal. There's a lot of ways to make that. But the moment you leave, send them a quick video. Hey, Susie, Sherry, thank you so much for coming by. You know, I'm excited to help you all find your new home, et cetera, et cetera. Hey, your kids were so cute. Next time, bring the dog. You know, whatever it might be, send that before you forget. By tomorrow morning, you're going to forget some details, and that's going to impact your ability to make the report. So follow up instantly and put them on your plan. Do you follow up with them today? Do you wait 2 days and then call them again? Do you follow up with them the following week? Do you wait then another 2 weeks after that? You know, make sure you have your method you're walking them through. Okay? So open houses, internet leads. Those are probably the 2 top sources right now when it comes to leads. Any other sources that you can think of to go over kind of numbers or ideas as far as what processes and plans would pay you back the most, I guess?
Well, your sphere of influence associated with clubs or whatever.
Sphere. Absolutely. Your sphere has got to be your strongest source. If you're going to create a system starting off day 1 in real estate, that is where you start. Everybody has a sphere. Whether you know it or not, they don't have to be your best friends or family, but you have a grocery store. You have your work, whatever it is. You have your church, you have your gym, you have your sports, you have your dry cleaners, you have your gas station, you have, everybody has their restaurant. I mean, everybody has their people. You've just never thought about them in the context of, are these my clients or not? So set up your list right off the bat. And here's why. 1 out of 18 open houses. 1 out of 33 internet leads. Guess what the numbers break down to if you can properly follow up with your database, your sphere? 1 out of 10. If you have 10 people in your database and you tackle them properly throughout the year, you can bring out 10 sales. 100 people, 10 sales. 200 people, 20 sales. We went right in the middle, so let's say 150 people in your database. Okay, here's the catch. They know you as Bob the builder. They know you as Heather the house cleaner, whoever it might be. That's how they know you. So how do you get them to know you as the agent? How do you not be that secret agent? Okay, and this is where we're going to steal the book from Gary Keller, and there's a whole bunch of slew of follow-ups for that. How do you rock your database? Don't let them forget about you. Top of mind. Okay, what are, right now, quick, 5 seconds. Name off Coke brands, different types of sodas.
Coke brand,
Yeah, Coke brands, like sodas. Quick. You got, how many can you think of right off the top?
Pepsi, Orange Crush,
There you go. Any more?
root beer.
Okay. That's it. Usually 3 to 4. That's how many people could come up with off the top of their head. Think of insurance. Geico, Progressive, USAA. It's weird. You could think of 3, usually right off the top of your head. So what are you going to do to become that 3 for your database, right? Everybody, almost everybody knows 3 realtors. That is the fact, okay? So how do you infiltrate and become one of those? This one, I guess Sphere kind of works with a law of 3s. 33 times throughout the year, you have to stay in front of them deliberately in the real estate capacity. So that's 3 times a month in different way, shape, or form, okay? So we have 150 because we want to make our 13 sales, right? So we're just going to round up. 150 people in your database times 33. 4,950 contacts throughout the year. Divided by 12. 412 contacts every single month. Again, averaging out 4 weeks a year, 4 weeks a month, sorry. That's 100 contacts a week. Now, the beauty of your sphere is, what do you do? Well, you could pop by, you could do phone calls, you could do texts, you could send emails, you got picnics, you've got all kinds of stuff. But the fine line is you're not always the realtor. So you got to offset that with being off sometimes. Otherwise, you're going to quickly get stopped. You're not going to get invited much anymore unless they appreciate you for being the realtor, which is not a bad thing to have. But be careful, okay? So you've got to be the social butterfly. That is the greatest return you can make off of anything, because of those 150, 7 of them, 7.5, are going to buy or sell with you. The 150 are also going to refer you another 7.5 to 8 sales per year. Half of them are going to do it themselves. The other half are going to come from referrals. And that is where top of mind. Hey, we're thinking about selling our house. Use Josh. Hey, we're thinking about selling our home. Hey, have you called Fred yet? That is the key. And that's why you have to stay in front of them. Stay in front of them. And don't think anything weird. How often are you pissed off at Progressive? Dang it, I saw your commercial 9 times today. You jerks. It's a commercial. They don't care. It's the job. People aren't going to hate you for doing your job. Believe it or not, it's that like whole trend. It's like, okay, Josh is a realtor. That's exciting. Okay, Josh is bugging me. Okay, that's kind of annoying. Dang it, Josh, stop bugging me. I'm not going to buy a house yet. I'm not ready. Dang it, Josh. Oh, you know what, Josh? You haven't given up on me yet. Hey, Josh, guess what? It's been long enough. We're coming back around. Hey, Josh, I really appreciate you following up with me for the last 2 years. You're obviously the expert. We're going to use you and refer you to everybody. That's the progression. Okay, work your way through it. Don't take offense. Just get through it and become that expert, but provide value, but have an off switch. I know it's a lot, but that is the greatest source of anything as an agent. Okay, if you can make a living off of friends, family, referrals, and connections, you don't have to make those phone calls. You don't have to do the door knocking necessarily. You know, more is more. If you can fit it in, grow a team, whatever. But if you can do your sphere of influence, but again, that's a lot a week. That's a lot of contacts a week. But it'll pay you back the best out of them all. So that covers the three things that we really wanted to talk about. So your challenge for the rest of the year when it comes to your lead sources. And if we didn't tackle your lead source, please comment, call me, email me. Let's tackle your lead source to make sure you are going to get what you need out of it, and that you have the system set up to make sure you will get it week in and week out. You don't want to have those dry months. Those dry months suck, and they never fail, because that's when your car's going to break down. You know, crap like that. Consistency is key. Day in and day out means you're going to get paid day in and day out. You're not going to go months without having stuff happen. If you do the daily activities, you're going to have a great predictable business. Okay? So your challenge is, if you have internet leads, if you're on our lead team, focus on your system. Every single lead, are you calling within a minute and a half? Are you calling every single lead 6 times that first week? Are you making it through those 12 calls within that first month? Are you offering value? Are you sending them buyer's advisory? Do you have a drip campaign? What is your system to make sure you are guaranteeing they're there? Your neighborhood's there. There's open houses to be had. We have so many leads. We have over 4,900 leads in our database right now, and we don't have enough agents to follow up with them properly. That's 200 sales in our database right now that are waiting for agents to say, I want them, take them. All right, we're here to make sure you get your sales, obviously. So make your calls for the next month throughout August. Let's make it a point. If you're doing internet leads, 20 calls a day. If you're doing open houses, do 1, 2, 3 of them a week. No less than 1, but try to do 3 a week. Okay? If you've got your sphere, what are your contacts? What are you going to do this week? How many pop buys? How many phone calls? How many text messages? How many simple videos? How many cards are you going to send out? That's the beauty of the sphere. You can do, hey, I was just thinking about you. Send that out. That's a contact. There's some great stuff that you can do with those. Create your plan this week, and if possible, send it to me so we can hold you accountable. We're not here to come down on you. We're here to promote you and help you accomplish all your goals. So that's your challenge for this week, or this month, rather. All right. So to finish up, everybody, thank you so much for taking the time today. I have 2 kind of funny video things to show you. First off, guess what just came on the market? This one? I think it was this one.
I'll tell you what. If you do,
how did all my videos got off?
She's working in office. She's been in the industry 2 weeks, and she's already got 8 real estate agents she's working with.
Okay, present to everybody.
This guy. I'm telling you right now, new Brady Bunch houses came up for sale.
There we go. I had it cuter.
Hey, Andrew, I don't know if you saw this, but the Brady Bunch houses came up for sale. What do you think it's going for? 1.9 million. I actually looked it up on Zillow. It's like 1.88, something like that. This estimate's only like $20,000 off. Now, speaking of Zillow, did you real estate agents in Atlanta, Georgia here, did you hear that you have
talk about an iconic home, huh?
It's Zillow. Yeah, Zillow. They're expanding its custom real estate agent out of the process unless you pay me program. That's not what it's.
Talk about an iconic home. Can you imagine owning the Brady Bunch house? Would you do tours? I'm not sure. Like, what do you do with a home like that? Do people actually live there? I think it's more of just a tourist stop, wouldn't it be?
Or a prop for the show.
Yeah, like that's crazy. But 1.885 million. There you go. All right. So to finish up today, I got a funny video to share. Back in 1991, I guess the NAR decided to do a video about what they thought the agent of the future would be. And the agent of the future is the agent of the year 2000. So here we are, 18 years later. Let's see what the NAR thought we were going to be like today. Was it 20 some odd years ago? Or was it 27 years ago?
Don't suffer from bad coverage. Project Fi, a better phone plan from Google.
This is great.
Glad I'm getting to the office early today. I've got so much to do. 6 appointments, 4 sellers and 2 buyers. Maybe I'll hear from the Greens. We must have spent 2 hours going over all their options. Maybe I should give them a call.
Sally, 2 customer inquiries. John Westwood on Channel 2. Terry Engel on 6.
Okay, put them on audio while I pull their files.
Sally, if we put 20% down on that house we've been talking about, what would our monthly payments be?
Let me check for you. Just a minute.
Sally, we were wondering about a home software system upgrade. Will that increase our property value?
Yes, it will. Not only is it going to increase your property value, but it's going to make your house a lot easier to sell.
Thanks, Sally. Knew you'd have the answer.
Your payments, they should be about $2,500.
Thanks, Sally. I'll see you Sunday.
Thank you. Nice talking to you. Bye-bye.
Sally, Mr. Green on Channel 2.
Okay, put him on video. Hi, Bob. Nice to see you.
Hello, Sally. My wife and I have gone over the loan information you gave us. We still have a few questions, but we'd like to start looking right away if you'll represent us.
Great. We need to meet to discuss the details of the buyer-broker agreement. What would be a good time for you?
How about 10 o'clock today at your office?
Okay, fine. I'll see you then.
Okay. Hi, Sally. How are you?
Bob, the Greens are a nice young couple. Their baby is due in a couple of weeks, and they're anxious to move into a larger home before the new arrival. Did either of you bring your data disk? I'd like to recheck your financials.
You know I left mine at home in my other pants. Honey, did you bring yours? Oh, thanks.
Yeah, let's see. All your financial information checks out. You should have no problem qualifying for a home in the $1.5 million range. Now, I've already gone through a database and have eliminated several hundred homes that won't meet your requirements. Based on our conversation, I would really recommend one of the Zenith Series Elite models. But let's see what the computer turns up. The Zenith Elite. The computer agrees.
Well, how many are on the market?
Today you have several pre-appraised listings to choose from. Why don't we take a look?
Those are homes.
Oh, that one's nice.
Can we see more on this one?
Sure. This one has great monitor appeal, doesn't it? It was built in 1990 and has approximately 275 square meters.
I like it a lot, but it's so white. Could you show it to us in another color we may want to paint?
Sure.
Okay. Can we see the inside?
Sure. All of our Zenith Elites feature 4 separate living suites on the 2nd floor. And there's 10 cubic meters of molecular storage space. And there's an up-to-date kitchen on the main floor with original Corian surface areas. And all the appliances are powered by cold fusion.
What kind of software does the house run on?
All the appliances are Microsoft Maytag. They're very user-friendly and hardly ever need repair.
Does this have a back deck?
No, this one doesn't have a deck now, but you might think of building this one on. It's compatible with the Zenith Elite. Why don't I download this listing into my car's database and we'll drive over and take a look. Hi, Max.
Good morning, Sal.
I'm with Bob and Janet Green. We'd like to take a look at 5725 Millennium Court in the Silicon Forest subdivision.
Nice neighborhood. Children may attend the highly rated nuclear technology or microelectronic magnet schools, the Intercontinental Shuttleport, 3 hospitals, 2 shopping malls, and a Sam Walton Wholesale Club are within 2.5 miles. Organic waste pickup is every Tuesday. Recyclable waste is picked up on Wednesday. Destination arrival.
Did I mention this home has a slow-grow lawn? It only needs mowing once or twice a year. The sale sign just went up today. Sure beats those old lock boxes.
Well, honey, what do you think?
I really like it. You know, we could spend hours looking all over the country. I think we'd find anything we like better.
You're right. Let's make it up.
Have you come to a decision?
Yes, we'd like to make an offer of $1,460,000.
That's terrific. Why don't you have a seat and I'll input the offer into the owner's mainframe and we'll see if the seller accepts it. The computer will communicate with the seller while we discuss financing. Have you decided on a mortgage?
Sally, last time we met, we had so many to talk about. Janet and I have narrowed it down to these 2. We haven't made a choice yet.
Let's pull them up on the screen and we can talk about them. Now, the big difference between these 2 is that with this one, you actually pay lower initial payments. But with this one, you pay less interest over the life of the loan.
We'll take that.
Good. That one is offered by an excellent lender. They set the standard for service. Now, all we need is a contract, and I can make all the loan arrangements right here.
Oh boy, this waiting is just killing me. Have we heard anything from the seller?
Offer accepted. Congratulations. Now we need to secure your loan. Can I have your financial data disk again, please? Now here is the lender and the loan that you've selected. The computer will activate your application, analyze your finances, and check your credit history. We should have an answer momentarily. Congratulations, you have an instant commitment. Super. Here are your closing documents. And they seem to be in perfect order. After you sign your papers, the home is yours.
Thank you, Sally.
NRA put this up?
National Association of Realtors, yeah. Yeah, the realtor. Yep. Isn't that? Oh, that's hilarious. It's great.
When did they create it?
Was that?
In the 90s?
So yeah, it was 1991.
1991. 1991.
So thank you, everybody. As you can tell, we've made some headway since 1991, but not quite as much headway as they would have assumed. That's awesome. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for your time today. If you have any questions or need anything, don't hesitate to give me or anybody at the office a call. And have an awesome week. Go sell some homes.